think enough time has passed for me to say that Transformers Rise of the Beasts was mid, bro. What the heck kind of movie was that, man? What, they filmed this movie in Midtown or something? Should have called that final battle the Battle of Mid.
On the record, I want to say I don't think the movie was bad, but I don't think it was good either. Remember the previous movie that was going in such a great direction for the film franchise? Well, guess what? The producer said, nah, fuck you, idiot. We're going back to explosions and violence with the Michael Bay films, but we're not going to do it as good as they did. I think the worst thing this movie did for me is make me like Pete Davidson. All my friends know me as a certified Pete Davidson hater, and I mean, look at him. How you going to look like a gas station crackhead and still pull women? I'm not jealous. I promise. But when Mirage, Pete Davidson's character, is undeniably the best part of the whole movie, something must have gone wrong behind the scenes. Man. But they did at least give us this cool toy out of the movie, so maybe it's okay. Studio Series Rise of the Beasts Optimus Prime. Now, let's go back in time for a second. Everyone loved the Bumblebee movie designs. They were the perfect blend of the original cartoon and Michael Bay designs. So when they started making Studio Series figures from the movie, everyone was anticipating a Studio Series Bumblebee movie, Optimus Prime. And then they drew the curtains and showed him to us. Why does he look like that? I have this guy back home, and I will go on record to say that this is a good figure. He's cool, he's fun. I even did a photo shoot with him at the Golden Gate Bridge, but he does not resemble his movie appearance. This is actually because the toy designers were given concept art to work with instead of his final design. So in a sense, this makes this guy the first ever Studio Series concept art figure. But it did leave a void for people who wanted a more screen-accurate Optimus Prime. So the Studio Series Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime was Hasbro and Takara's chance to make up for it. And did they? At first glance, this guy's pretty freaking awesome, but I do gotta say some things. He also suffers from being based on an unfinalized design. If you notice on the box, he's more based off of this artwork instead of his final movie appearance. The difference this time though is that the figure isn't too much of a departure from his on-screen appearance, but it's still something to point out. And yeah, gotta flex real quick. I got the Takara version of this guy. Look how cool the box is. Sucks that y'all are stuck with that lame-ass yellow buzzworthy Bumblebee box. Losers. But yeah, this guy's pretty cool. Really captures the essence of Prime from the movie. Like, holy shit, he is that guy. Gotta love his stance, gotta love his proportions. The colors of the plastic are vivid and bright and beautifully complemented by the painted silver bits. This guy feels alive, and the sculpt has tons of detail on it. I just knew he was gonna be a banger figure from the moment they revealed this Optimus Prime. Props to that head sculpt too. It's amazing how they cram in all that detail. The silver paint in the blue eyes really brings out a beauty to this Optimus Prime. Oh yeah. But I'm gonna come out and say it, his Bumblebee movie head looks better. In fact, his Bumblebee movie design is better. Alright, I'm gonna go on a rant. Why, in America's Walmart-ridden earth, did they change the designs for these characters? Bumblebee survived. He looks just like how he did at the end of the Bumblebee movie. Mirage was never established in Bumblebee, so his design gets a pass. Percy was changed, but she still keeps the spirit of what you'd expect her to look like. And also, she does transform into something completely different. Wheeljack, oh man. It's just baffling that they already had an established design for this same character, and then they drastically change it and expect us to believe that this guy is supposed to be this guy? No. He should have been called Pablo. But Optimus Prime's changes are something that I cannot understand. So get this, he still transforms into the exact same truck, and yet they still decided to alter him. His head is different, his proportions are changed a bit, and they took away color from his torso and arms, which makes these parts look very bland. And unfortunately that also carries over to this toy, but at least it doesn't look like his Fortnite design, so I guess it could be worse. I did praise the shiny silver paint here, but man, I just think it would look better if it looked like this. And also, as vibrant as the colors are on this figure, this dull gray plastic is honestly an eyesore. It's to the point where I cannot admire the sculpt work present. Am I saying his arms would have looked better if they were entirely red? Yes. Speaking of gray, this ab piece right here is my least favorite part of this figure. Not just because of the color, but the profile. Oh. My boy Optiprimus, what did you eat? It juts out way too far. It looks ugly. And surprisingly, this is the thing that holds back his profile, because his back is great. His forearms got a little kibble behind them, but I think we can look past that. So yeah, I hate the gray. It ruins the sculpts. In fact, I think the solid colors that I just praised a minute ago ruin the sculpts too. Look at these parts right here. They're just screaming to be done in shiny silver paint. There's so much of this figure that could have been elevated with added color. Hell, they even missed the red circle here. And quite honestly, it's a disappointment that not a lot of people talk about this. But despite this figure kicks ass, man. It has a lot of small things that go against it. When you're able to look past it, you can appreciate that this is a legendary representation of Optimus Prime. The look, the feel, the proportions, they all come together to make this guy. I know I was giving him a lot of shit, but when Hasbro and Takara cook to make something as cool as this is awesome. This is Optimus Prime. How can you not love him? What the fuck is this? Okay, look at the screen cap of Optimus from Bumblebee. Now look at him in Rise of the Beasts. You see what they did wrong? They brought his mouth back. Who thought it was a great idea to get rid of his rifle and replace it with a built-in cannon? I want names. I just want to talk. Now, it works for Bumblebee because the cannon is designed in a way that makes his hand transform into it make sense. For Optimus, this big fuck-off cannon literally materializes out of nowhere. And the worst part? This accessory looks nothing like it does in the movie. This pathetic piece of shit hand cannon accessory. I hate it. It looks weak, it looks puny, and it's in the gray that I hate. So you know what I do? I plug it in this back and forget about it. But then I remember about it, so I chuck it in the toilet and flush it down there. Not my problem anymore. His other accessory is pretty cool, actually. Yeah, there's no orange glow to it, but I am loving his sword a lot more than I thought I would. The detail's cool, and the shiny silver makes it pop. You have options for him to wield it. Traditionally, which is the wrong way. It also looks short like this. On his forearm, which we're getting there, but still not it. Or coming out of his wrist. And this is it, man. Just like how he deploys it in the movie. And this is the best look for him. It's just so cool, man. He looks fierce and sometimes scary. Get away from me, man. This is clearly his best accessory, and I'm so glad they included all of his iconic accessories that he used in the Transformers Rise of the Beasts movie. Except they didn't. Where is his axe? Was Studio Series Optimus Primal? Oh. Hell no! But you know what we do get? This dumb backdrop. I honestly forgot every Studio Series figure comes with this, and it's a backdrop. This when they were infiltrating that parade in Peru, but I don't know, I guess I just don't care too much about backdrops anymore. But you know what I do care about? Articulation. And whatever the Hasbro and Takara designers were on when engineering this guy, I'm gonna need some of that. Cause that must have been some good shit. I think this is the best feeling imposing Voyager Optimus out there. Head is on a ball joint, so we got a nice range of movement. Arms can move out, and yeah, this is a wonky joint that gets in the way, but come on, we got arm movement. Then we got arm rotation, bicep rotation, double jointed elbows, wrist tilts and swivels, waist swivel, beautiful front kick and splits, barely any backwards movement though, thigh swivel, knee bend, a foot that's on a hinge and ball joint to allow for some crazy movement, and best of all, an ab crunch. They went all out on this guy. Not only is this Optimus Prime superposable, he's so photogenic. He looks great in whatever you get him in. And the joints, man, they just all feel so good. So yeah, this guy is all around fun. So great to get him in all kinds of poses, and he looks epic. I do wish he was a little taller, and I do wish he had a little more of a premium look to him, but Studio Series Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime is a fantastic figure. This guy stands as a triumph over his predecessor. They definitely improved the robot mode with this figure and have solidified this guy's existence. I have a lot of nitpicks, but I love his robot mode. So what about his truck mode? Here is his truck mode, and at first glance it looks great. The front of the cab looks awesome, and this actually rectified my issue with the Bumblebee movie Optimus Prime cab. It looks goofy, and this one looks cool. Still have no idea where this bull bar came from, but creative bankruptcy. But when you turn this guy around, oh my God, what the hell happened here? It's so baffling how they improved the front of the Bumblebee cab, and despite that truck bed being actually fantastic, they still said, now let's fuck it up, because what is this? Like for real, the blueprint was there with the Bumblebee figure, and yet they still fumbled it. So this is terrible. It's a shame too, because this back is such an eyesore that it kind of overshadows how cool the front of the truck looks. The silver paint shines here, and yeah, the hinges do pop out more than I'd like them to, but it comes together nicely. The silver streak, the details, the long smokestacks. This is an awesome truck mode that's just severely held back by whatever the hell they got going on back here. This shit is ugly, inexcusable. And they didn't even bother to include a hitch with this, so if you have a trailer hanging around, you can't use it. But you know what you can do? Store the stupid ass blaster here. And if this is their justification for engineering the back like this, then congrats, Hashtag. You made me hate this thing even more. You can store the sword in between his thighs. What a way to go. And he rolls not too well. His wheels aren't 100% aligned. And he feels tiny in this mode. I wish he was bigger. So all this results in me feeling very indifferent to this truck mode. On the one hand, look at this. Wow. On the other hand, don't look at this. Ew. These goobers, man, they had the audacity to put detail behind these parts. So, it's a cool looking truck that's just held back by some abysmal design choices. I'd rather have him in his robot mode anyways. Let's just wrap this up. Studio Series Rise of the Beasts Optimus Prime is a double-edged sword. On the one hand, you got a beautiful figure that makes a better attempt at looking like his screen appearance than his predecessor. On the other hand, they dropped the ball massively when it came to fleshing out the truck, and the details it's trying to emulate leaves a lot to be desired. Perhaps with the added budget that comes with being a leader class figure, Hasbro and Takara really could have ironed out the engineering issues and added more paint and detail to make this figure truly stand out as one of the greats in Transformers toy history. But as it stands, it's a figure that looks great and is hella fun while making a lot of unnecessary mistakes that weren't an issue in the past. Regardless, I think this Optimus Prime makes a great addition to my collection. What a good figure this is.